All right, here we go. Are you ready? This is going to be a really fast intercession, and it's going to seem like you're being fire hosed with a ton of information. I need you to keep in mind two things. One, you are. We're going to be doing approximately 3 weeks worth of regular semester work in 1 week for the winter session, which is a little bit crazy. Like the timeline is just nuts. Okay. But I signed up for it and you signed up for it. So you got to go along for the ride. The second thing to remember is that I'm here to help you. That's my job. Actually, that's what they pay me to do. So I'm not just going to go like sit and eat bonbons for 6 weeks. I'm going to be in the trenches with you. There's lots of ways to reach out to me. I've talked about this in some other places. There's Discord help desk, there's all kinds of places. Okay. I'm not going to go over that again, but ask the question. If you want to succeed, ask the question. All right. So we've got a couple of things to cover, and I want to give you an overview of this week, and keeping in mind that it's really like 3 weeks worth of stuff. So it's going to seem like a lot. But my philosophy for these classes is that everything should be hands-on. Like I really do all the same stuff online that I do on campus. It's the same projects. And that gives you a fuller, deeper experience because you can't just talk about stuff and really understand it. You have to do it. And when you do it, then you really get a deep understanding of what it's all about. Um, Anyhow, so just keep in mind, everything is hands-on. It's going to all be hands-on. And I would highly recommend that you load into Moodle or log into Moodle on your desktop or laptop. Like I have it on my phone also, and it's good for quick checking things, but it's not really great for seeing the whole site as it's meant to be seen. So if you can, at least check in and do most of the stuff on a laptop or desktop. And iPad's going to be the same as mobile, or any mobile device. Tablet is going to be the same as mobile. It's going to be a little bit harder to find things and do things. If you, not impossible, just a little bit harder. So why don't we jump right in? Let me come over and do a screen share on Moodle. This way I can show you what things are all about, what we've got going this week. And you'll notice that week 1 will be open. Now, there's a video here that you have to watch first, because if you haven't watched that, everything else is going to be restricted and hidden. But once you watch that and you check off the box, and don't just cheat and check off the box or the circle, don't do that. Watch the video. It's going to give you success strategies for how to maximize your time here and make the most of your efforts. So anyhow, once you do that, this will be the video you're watching right now, but then it's going to be split into 3 parts. And you'll notice that these parts mirror what you're going to see on the class schedule. And so part 1, we're going to look at how do we use technology. I always tell people this isn't a class about how to use technology. It's about how technology is used. But to figure that out, you have to look at how people use it, right? So one of the first things we're going to talk about is this attention economy. And most of the times when students see this video, they have a couple of aha moments. It's like, I didn't think about it that way before. Why do we do it that way? Why do we let that happen? So I think you're going to find some interesting tidbits to take away from both of these, the attention economy and hacking mindfulness. This next part is how social media can make history and how to use social media in your career. Because our main topic for this week, the overarching topic is social media. And so you might notice we're not going in order of the textbook. Social media is actually chapter 5. And I jump around a little bit. And when you check the class schedule, you'll be able to plan the order in which things are going to happen. You'll see what chapters we're doing when. Anyhow, these 2 videos, or this video and this article, one gives you kind of a historical perspective, which is really good. The video's coming up on about 10 years old, I think. Maybe it's not quite that old. Anyhow, but it gives a really good look at how social media has changed over time and where we're at now. And the other one's just a very practical article. Then in step 2, part 2, social media, there's a couple of PK. Whenever you see a PK original video, that's my lecture video. And so hopefully they're not boring. I think people tell me they're pretty interesting, and I share with you resources and ideas and things to think about. So always watch one of those first. And then you have a TED Radio Hour video here that act or a podcast that actually Ted Clay Shirky's the guy who made this video. And then down here, the TED Radio Hour does an interview with him that sort of pulls back the curtain behind how he came across some of the ideas he came across. And that's an audio podcast. So that's the sort of thing you just like plug it on, listen to while you're cleaning house or doing dishes or walking or whatever. Now, I've got a link to the first 5 chapters of the textbook up in the computer concepts area of the class under that tile. They're really not good PDFs. They're from the 2016 version, which is getting really old. But if you absolutely haven't gotten your book yet, it's it's something. And so there's that piece. Now, in my previous video about unlocking success, I kind of told you textbook reading is at the bottom of the food chain. So get to that last, all right? And then there's a GCF tutorial about using LinkedIn, which is the social media that we're going to use here. And there's just all kinds of good stuff. So GCF has really nice tutorials. They've got video, they've got audio, they've got pictures. If you've never used LinkedIn before, it wouldn't be a bad idea to sort of just scan through some of these categories, and you can touch on them as you need them. So coming down to the do section, now these are the hands-on pieces, the parts that you actually do, the assignments, okay? And so there's a link to the chapter 5 quiz. There's usually about 25 to 30 questions that are pulled from the chapter from a test bank. If you haven't read the whole chapter, that's okay. It's open book, open everything, pretty much. You get 2 days from the time that you open the quiz to finish the quiz, and you get 2 chances to take it within that 2-day window. So go ahead and get that done. But the thing that you're really going to do is like create a LinkedIn profile. And the project specifications are there. I made a whole other video just about this, but this is one of those things where you just submit it as a text. So add submission. You come back down here. It's going to ask you to give your LinkedIn link, like your URL, and then you hit save changes. So this is a pretty easy one. Frequently you'll see a text box. If you like more tools on the text box, just click the arrow, more stuff opens up so you can expand or collapse that. So that's the do part for the social media segment of this week. Now let's get back down to where we were. Social media, there's the do part. This third part is reliable sources. This is a big project, and there's lots of videos for each part has a video, so I'm not going to go into a ton of detail other than to let you know that this project is approximately 25% of your grade for the class because it wraps in all of the course learning outcomes. It wraps in lots of really good useful skills. In the regular semester, this would be about a 10-week project. So we're having to truncate it into just a couple of weeks. What I suggest is you go to the overview block. There's a whole block just for reliable sources that has it all in one place. Go read the overview, take a look at part 5, just so you kind of have in your head what you're shooting for. But then keep in mind that this week, so there's a thing about academic integrity that goes along with this, about how to use Google Drive. But then down here, this project topic overview is super simple. Okay, so we're starting off easy. What you're going to do is you're going to give me 3 topic ideas that have to do with technology, 3 interesting ideas. Now, you're not writing a research paper, but if you were, these would be things you'd find interesting to research. So instead of saying something like, oh, the history of the iPhone, okay, I can look that up on Wikipedia. I could have that answer in like 2 minutes, right? If that long. What would be a more interesting topic is, how have smartphones changed the way people relate to each other? So you're going to pick 3 big topics and you're going to submit them to me. I'm going to give you some feedback on those, and I'm going to pick one for you out of the 3. So even if you want to rank them, if you want to say first, second, third, in order of your preference, that's fine also. I'll take that into consideration, but I'll give you back the topic you're going to work with for the rest of the class. based on your suggestions. And we might have a little dialogue back and forth. I might ask you a few questions on your Discord notes channel, but then we'll land on a topic after this is submitted. You'll take that topic to move forward to the other parts of the project. So put a little bit of thought into this. Try to find something you find personally interesting that about technology or that you can learn. And it could be just about anything. It could be artificial intelligence. It could be automotive technology. It could be just about anything. But you want to come up with the why question. Like, what's the question? You know, how does or why does or where, you know, those kind of questions. So that's the Reliable Sources project. And then every week we have this wrap up section. This is super important, and it's not even open really until Friday. Like, you can't submit these till Friday. So they're open, but I won't take any submissions before Friday. Okay. And the reason for that is I want you to go through the week, see the things, think the things, do the things. And then this part is to reflect on the things. And I love this quote from John Dewey. We don't learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience. And if you've ever fallen off of a bike or done something really dumb, you know that's where the learning happens, when you think, how do I not do that again? Or maybe I should try that a different way. Or what did I get out of that? The reflecting piece is critical. And in education, we too often don't have time for that. Now, for me, this gives me a critical insight. It does two purposes. So the logging out survey is between you and I. This gives me critical insight into where you are, how you feel, what you took away from the class. All right. And the questions on there might change up just a little bit every week, but they'll more or less be asking you what went well, you know, what was challenging, what could be improved, those sort of questions. The takeaway, on the other hand, is your opportunity to share with the class, is to add to what the class already knows. And on Discord, there's a takeaway channel for every week. And so what you'll do is you'll pick one big idea. Now, you just saw we're covering all kinds of stuff this week. Like, we're mostly doing social media, but we're also talking about reliable sources and this attention economy. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that's going on. Pick one big idea that really made you go, oh, okay, that's interesting. And what you're going to do is you're going to find a resource about it. Now, here's the trick, is you have to get in there quickly, because if somebody else has already posted the same resource, video, article, you know, something, web page, something, then you can't use it. You have to pick another one. But you're going to describe your aha moment, like whatever the takeaway is. You're going to give the reason why you picked it, and you're going to share and talk about a resource, and you're going to post that to Discord. So every week when you go into the week, kind of know that you'll have these two things at the other end of the week to wrap everything up. Let me stop sharing for a minute and wrap this up. This is a fast class, and I'm going to be honest about it. There is no time to slack off. A lot of people said you were procrastinators. Me too. But in 6 weeks, there's no time for that. We just don't have time for that. So I'm going to be pretty hard on the deadlines. You're always welcome to message me on your notes channel if something comes up. You know, people get sick, car accidents happen, like legitimate stuff happens, right? But you need to wrap your brain around how to plan time and how to get these things done. This January 9th is a hard deadline. Okay, that's the final drop date and the final add date. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of people on the wait list that want to get in. And so if you're not getting stuff done by those deadlines, check the schedule. There's some stuff due Wednesday, some stuff due Friday, some stuff due Saturday. There's stuff due, normally I like to have one due date a week, but because of how crunched the semester is, that's not going to always happen based on the timing of different activities. But it will be on the schedule, so you can put it on your calendar, but don't skip stuff out, because I will drop you, because there are people that want to get in. So do your best. If something legitimately comes up, then by all means, please contact me. Don't just disappear. Like, if you get stuck or you have a question or you need help, whatever it is, like, talk to me. I'm willing to work with you. But if you're just not like communicating and you're not showing up and you're not doing stuff, this is probably not the semester for you to take the class. Anyhow, this is a really exciting group. we've got some really exciting topics to talk about, and I'm really excited to have you here. So let's do this.